Bluetooth adapters?
Oh yes, Bluetooth adapters. These are pretty cool features because maybe your headsets do not have Bluetooth, but there are adapters that you can buy so you can listen to. If you have a navigation app, sometimes it will tell you have a traffic here on your left at 1 o'clock.
I was thinking about music, but yeah, that makes
Oh,
more
you
sense.
can also you can also get
when
music.
you said Bluetooth.
You can do it for music. If you are cruising and now you're ready for some music.
Do you do that though? Do you?
I have listened to it because I actually just got the Bluetooth from I have the Clarity Aloft, and then I connect it to the Bluetooth, and it tells you you're entering airspace or you're entering the runway. Sometimes you can hear entering runway 9 right, or.
But even if you have music.
Even if you have music, you will listen to the what's it called,
the navigation
app. Also, if there's radio communication, the music will like lower to the very minimum until the music until the radio chit chat stops.
Which Bluetooth adapter do you purchase?
I bought it.
I don't have that.
I bought it from Clarity Aloft. Also, the guys from Pilot Communication, they have a version that you can use.
Okay, that's a nice gadget. What else? I think we have 3. We are missing 1. Top 5. It says iPad accessories, but I guess the Bluetooth one.
It connects to the iPad. You can also listen to the AOA indicator because the AOA indicator does have a noise warning, so you can get that from there. And like I said, the stylus, the iPad mounts, and I think that's it. Oh, something really nice I have on the RV is like a 90-degree angle for the USB port. So you connect to the.
Oh yes, you do.
Connect. So instead of having the wire just plugged in here, I connect it from the back because it's just there's a 90-degree and there's like U-shaped kind of a USB. So if you want to have like a clean
if
setup,
you don't want the cable going through all the rest of your avionics and you want to hide it.
Yeah, something very clean.
I know. Yeah, Ricardo has like a little U-shaped USB adapter.
So that is really, really, really nice.
Okay.
Next.
It says that we should rank the top 5 aviation shows in the world.
Oh, I mean, there's obviously the big one. I would say Oshkosh.
Oshkosh, AirVenture Oshkosh.
There is a right way to do Oshkosh. What do you think that will be?
Yeah, AirVenture is amazing if you do it the right way, which is camping at AirVenture, either next to your airplane or your RV or in a tent.
Just camp at the show.
Camp at the show.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just another show. But the atmosphere, like during the show, during the night, it makes it worthwhile going there and camp. We always camp there.
You might also get a storm, but that's part of the experience.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
AirVenture. We have Sun and Fun.
Oh, Sun and Fun. I love Sun
Florida.
and Fun. It's here in Florida. It's like a mini Oshkosh, but you still get the same vibe, the same atmosphere. What I love about both shows is the fireworks, the night show.
The night shows and the air shows
the air
are
shows,
top.
Both shows, the performance and the performers and the drones and the fire jets. It's just the entire atmosphere is what I love about these shows.
Also, like AirVenture, that's what you're going to do, just airplanes and camping. But Sun and Fun, if you're coming with a family, it might be more diverse because then you have the Disney parks next by or the beach, or there's a lot of stuff to do around Orlando and Lakeland. So in that sense, it's also worth coming to Florida.
Another one of my favorite shows, which Ananda hates. Yes.
No, continue.
Which Ananda, she's very jealous of me because I go every year, but I'm a nice favorite cousin, and I send her a lot of pictures, which is the Alaska show. I love the Alaska show.
Yeah, I never get to go.
It's very, very beautiful.
They only send my 3rd favorite cousin here. How is it, Alaska?
It's very It's a very, very, very small show, but everybody in Alaska flies, and a bush plane. Everybody has like some type of bush plane, big tires. I think some tires are maybe bigger than me for these airplanes. And I think the atmosphere, the people, everything on that show is beautiful. Everywhere you turn, there is a nice scenic view, either big nice mountains or the trees or a lake. It's just beautiful. You should go one. I'll send you more pictures next time.
So that's your third favorite. What about Aero?
Aero Friedrichshafen.
That's not how you pronounce it.
I don't know how to pronounce Aero. Let's try.
I don't know how to pronounce it
You tell me
either.
how to pronounce it.
I think. Oh my god.
What's your best guess?
This is gonna be on YouTube. You know?
Yeah.
My best guess is Friedrichshafen.
Friedrichshafen. Friedrichshafen.
Because Hafen is port. And it's the port of Friedrichshafen.
It's a really, really nice. So I don't know if we're pronouncing it correctly. So if we are, just let us know in the comments below.
Definitely not.
But it's a really nice show because it's totally different from what we see at Sun and Fun. Everything at Sun and Fun in Oshkosh is like hats and shorts and air shows.
Camping vibe.
Camping vibe, yeah.
Aero is very elegant, very formal. There's wine and beer after the show. There's no camping. So, but it's also really nice. It's very different, but really nice.
It's a really really nice show. Yeah.
I would say, yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's in my top 5.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we only said 4.
That's true. Well, there's there's an LSA show that we haven't gone to, but it's a very small show. It's in the Midwest. I think we should go, and it's all LSA. It's all of our market, so we definitely should attend to that show.
If you have a recommendation of where I should go, not Ricardo, where I should go.
We should go.
Let us know in the comments below. And yeah, maybe we get to go to different parts of it. I know there's one in France.
Australia, they have
Australia.
A couple of big shows. There's an Aero in South Africa as well.
And there's a Sun and Fun.
There's Sun and Fun. Yeah, that's in the Middle East. Yeah, so definitely a show that we should try. So Sun and Fun, similar to Sun and Fun. How funny.
Last question.
Oof.
I think. Yeah, last question.
What's the last question?
It's an easy one. I know, 2 more questions. iPad mini versus iPad Pro.
Oof, I get that question a lot.
Which is better for the cockpit?
It depends. It all depends on how much real estate you have on your panel. If you don't have a lot of real estate, then I recommend the iPad mini. If you have the space, then the regular size iPad, just because it's a little bigger, but they all will perform the same. I have an iPad Pro in the RV just because I did have the space and I wanted like a big screen. But it all comes down to real estate.
I mean, technical wise, they all do the same.
They all do the same. You do have to have a iOS or firmware, I believe 13 and above, if you want to do like split screen.
Yeah, some iPad minis don't do split screen unless it's, I believe, the iPad. I don't want to say the incorrect thing. Maybe we'll post it on the description.
Yeah.
But iPad 6 mini and up.
Yeah, depending on the generation. But I think depending on the iPad. Also, what about a lot of people ask me about what size iPad as far as memory. I think if you use the iPad solely for flying, no pictures or anything like that, I think the minimum is 64, and depending on how much data you download on your navigation app,
that would be fine. The smallest size works fine.
Yeah, and you don't have to get cellular, because a lot of people ask me, do you need cellular?
You don't need the cellular version. If you do actually have the cellular version, you might have to go to airplane mode so that you're not interfering with the wireless communication.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Last question.
Oh my goodness.
Are you ready?
I'm ready for the last question.
Tips for best performance. And I guess this is tips for best performance out of the Levil devices.
All of the Levil device. For the bomb, I would say installation is key. You have to have a clear view of the sky towards the leading edge, clean air, so make sure it's out of the propeller wash. Do not install it very far back, even if you have a fabric airplane, just because you won't have a very accurate reading of the angle of attack. A lot of people install it on the wingtip because you have a lot of clear view of the sky for GPS reception, and there's usually a rib right there where you can install the.
I would add, for best performance on the bomb, don't forget to put the red cover on. The red cover of the bomb, it's not just protecting the pitot input, it's actually isolating the battery. It shuts down the battery operation. If you don't put it on, then the battery is going to the bomb can turn on, off with vibrations or wind or whatever, and it would drain the battery down. And just like your phone, if you're running your phone on low battery all the time, then it ruins the performance of the battery. So to get more performance of the battery of the bomb, remember to keep that cover on when you're not using it. And if you see that the bomb is low on battery, charge it. Keep those batteries charged, I would say.
What other tip you have? I think the airplane mode that you mentioned, it's a really good tip that you mentioned earlier.
Yes.
But why?
So if you're using, let's say, your phone with the bomb or any of the wireless ADSBs out there, when your iPad or your phone has cellular, then the iPad on the background is trying to get data, internet, from different, from the LTE or 5G, or let me check on the Wi-Fi channel. And so it jumps here and there and you might lose the connection. So if you're seeing dropouts on the connection, turn airplane mode on and only allow Wi-Fi, and then the communication should be perfect.
Yes. And I also mentioned earlier, but kill every app as well that you have, not only to help with iPad overheating, but it helps with communication, because they might not be fighting with other apps on who gets the data.
Yeah.
So that's one of the tips. The iLevel, if you have an iLevel AP or an iLevel AW, if you have everything wired, keep the iLevel on the off position.
So if you're powering the iLevel 12 volts on the DB15, this button should be off, because if you leave it on, you go fly, you land, shuts down the power, the battery is going to remain on, and your iLevel is going to drain the battery.
Yeah.
And next time you fly, you charge it, but then battery's on, so it gets drained, and then you're going to kill the battery life like this. So this switch should be off. And then if you have an external remote switch for turning on off the battery, make sure that you turn it off as well.